Hey everybody, clearing. All right, this is going to be a divine feminine check-in. We're going to look at where are the divine feminines at? What do the DMs need to know? And some advice for also the DFs, because I do know most of my viewers are divine feminines, so I'm going to help the divine feminines out while giving the divine masculines some information as well. So here we go. Thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through for the DFs and for the DMs that want to get some advice, and also advice for the DFs with all the regular daily counterpart check-in. What are they thinking about the connection? What are they thinking about their counterpart? What are they feeling on the heart space about the connection and the counterpart? What do they want to manifest? What actions are they taking? What's the biggest challenge? What is the solution to that challenge at this time? And where is the connection going in the next 3 weeks or so? All right, conscious mind for the connection, transformation, and not forcing things. So the feminines are having a mass realization, I just heard, about what it's like to not chase, not try to manifest, not try to force. I heard the word cajole. There's no sales pitch. The feminines are coming through needing to prove their value or demand proof that someone loves them. Feminines now don't want it if it's not just for them. And so there's a transformation where there's no convincing. They just want what wants them now. And they're trusting that that's not going to be imbalanced. So sometimes there can be, not attraction from the feminine to a potential suitor. This is talking about mutual. So the feminines now are believing that there is a mutual connection and that they don't have to force what is for them. So there's a deepening trust in these connections and just in life in general. What do you need to know about that, masculines? High priestess. So this is the mark of a high priestess, when your divine feminine can just sit pretty in this energy and not have to exonerate themselves in your eyes, not have to push it. They just have this silent knowing. And you know that they love you, and they're not trying to force an agenda. They're giving space. They're always moving in humility, compassion, mercy. It just is. What is the advice for the feminines in this energy? Yeah, this is where we take all of the American dream kind of successes and we embed it with spirit, true love. So it's not just surface level. This is you getting your wishes fulfilled and then some, feminines. When you wait it out for what is actually compatible with you and desiring you, you get more than you bargained for in the best possible way. So keep going. It does bring in what is for you when you're in your knowing that you deserve that, and you don't have to go and force it. Yes, you have to show up, feminines. You have to know what it is you're after, what you want, what rings true, what sits well with your soul, but you don't have to effort for it. You just have to identify it and know that it is for you. What can we see for the views about you, divine masculines? Oh, yeah, so they are in, your true counterpart is in this high priestess energy. Here it is again, and 5 of Swords. So your divine feminine knows that they cannot access your energy as the high priest or bring that side out of you or engage on that level if they're not in their high priestess feminine energy. They know that it's always a choice whether they're going to set into their truth in their feminine, or if they're going to continue to challenge and effort and be in the masculine and not be in their authenticity. So for divine feminines, being in their authenticity is synonymous with being in this high priestess energy where they can be still and know. The 5 of Swords is a card of free will, where there can be a flip-flop back and forth in how to look at things. The alternative is be still and know. So your feminine has seen that whenever they're in this, I just heard frantic or back and forth way of looking at the connection, that it causes the connection to grow distant. When they're in their knowing, it's like it's there even when it's not there in the physical. It becomes real. It becomes apparent to them. And that's when you show up energetically. That's when you show up in the physical. That's when they feel the love. That's when the love is evident. So I'm hearing believing is seeing. So instead of seeing as believing, we've got believing as seeing. What is the advice for you masculines? The moon, another high priestess-esque kind of energy. This is divine feminine. High priestess, moon, that's the cosmic feminine. This is the spiritual feminine. The spiritually realized empress, and this is the cosmic empress. So yeah, this is the mystery. This is the mystery, masculines, that you have glimpsed until now, when your feminine seems to go into mysterious, mysterioso mode, and you're not quite sure why they're doing what they're doing or what they're thinking. This is the key. They have been practicing coming into their knowing, practicing coming into their receptivity, into their yin, into their zen. And so this is the still, calm energy that you can hunt and come in as their masculine. The sun, you can bring consciousness to, you can shine, you can show up in that masculine energy that is esteemed by your feminine, that brings light, that showcases their subtleties, their beauty. You turn the light on, you shine the light on them. When they are yours, you claim them as yours, you illuminate. So your high priestess, cosmic moon, feminine, moon goddess, feminine, is emanating the right energy for you to come in and align with that as your cosmic self. What is the advice for the feminines? Three of Wands, keeping an open mind. So watching the horizon for delightful things, I just heard. So instead of having expectations and projections and assumptions about what needs to happen or what will, this is about keeping an open mind and knowing that your masculine is designed to delight you in ways you didn't even know were possible. Your masculine knows your pleasure better than you know it yourself, because they are getting divine intel on how to move in your connection, how to show up, how to engage, how to surprise you. And so all you need to do is know your worth and allow it, receive it to come in, and carry on your merry way until those things come in. But excited anticipation that this person that you are watching this for is coming in, feminines. And if it's not, praying for peace that you'll be shown so that you can fully release them. If it's not producing fruit, you deserve love. What can we see for the feminines on the heart space about these connections? Coming out of hermit mode, look at that, and the moon. So did you just see that? We got high priestess first for the masculines, then high priestess. We got the moon for the masculines' view of the feminine, and now we've got the moon for the feminines. This is very, very aligned. So everybody, you are picking up on this one for you because it's showing up repeat confirmations. The odds of that are pretty staggering. But feminines, you're starting to come into the safety of expressing this cosmic aspect of yourself in broad daylight. So I'm hearing the coast is clear. I just saw 911. So for many feminines, there will be one real world emergencies, times where actual dialing 911 is going to bring awareness to your intuition, to your mastery, to your ability to take action when it's warranted. You've got this. So for those who will be dealing with 911 energy, it will bring you out of hermit mode. It will bring you out of your shell, and it will show the world how on it, how poised, how relevant you are in your reality. And it may actually indicate something about your intuition to your masculine that they haven't seen before. So not everybody's going to have a 911 kind of energy around them. Put it in the comments if you have. I have. So that's really interesting. But that's going to showcase your wisdom, your mastery, feminines. What do the masculines need to know about this? The star. Yeah, so you're seeing your feminine as a shining star, somebody who is supported by the cosmos, who is in the right place at the right time, like the moon is hung in the sky around the earth, how it's perfectly orchestrated in that balance. You're seeing your feminine as one with the cosmos, in alignment. So you're not wrong. And because you have eyes to see that, masculine, you are also of that same energy. Not everybody is looking at your feminine through the same intimate lens that you get to see your feminine. Not everybody is able to know the ins and outs of what's going on in your feminine's energy in their life like you are. That is a sacred honor. Take that to heart, masculines, that you are someone that is privy to that. It's not by chance. And it is because your lessons and your potential is interwoven with your feminine in a way that you are both in tandem living through these types of experiences for your soul mission, for what comes next in your union. What can we see for the feminines? Keep an open, curious attitude, because there are going to be things arising around you that you're going to be called on in this moon goddess energy, where your intuition, your knowing, listening to that voice within you is going to bring you through a labyrinth, through certain circumstances, earth angel status. Okay, on the heart space, yeah, so these connections. So feminines, whatever's about to play out or has recently played out in your connection, it has really set you apart, your connection apart. It rightfully should have or will illuminate how you and your masculine are really in a tandem version of reality, that the two of you are sharing, that other people are not experiencing on that level. There is something unique about what you know about each other, how you connect, how you navigate in the world, and behind the scenes, it's you and them in some way here. So really acknowledge that. That's one of the indicators that this is real love, that you don't need to have it proven or to prove it. This is one of those divinely orchestrated reality checks that you are actually meant to be connected with this person at this time for these specific earth angel kind of reasons. What can we see on the heart space for your masculine? Eight of Swords in the inverse and strength. So there's a great deal of humility. I just heard it's far greater than a romantic relationship now, isn't it? There's some new level of spiritual mastery of overcoming. The Strength card overcomes the devil. So there has been some lower vibrational energy that the two of you have somehow teamed up with to overcome. And this is a love-based, heartfelt thing that you've gone through. And on the heart space, you both know it. So this is an acknowledgement that where you may have fallen short, been trapped, powerless, limited in the past, you have overcome that illusion and you've stepped into the peace knowing you can handle what life throws you, knowing that you and your masculine are in this together, knowing that the two of you are aligned, two peas in a pod, that you could not have done it without each other. So for everybody watching, if you go to the divine, I'm hearing there is a confirmation that there was something or will be something that the two of you are dealing with in the material realm that you have teamed up regarding, that has pulled both of you beyond what you thought you were each capable of. And you've seen yourselves and each other in a new, more masterful light because of it. What is the advice for the masculines there? The world. So in the inverse, and I really heard you're going to be able to take on the world together when you come through this integration phase where you put aside all of the skepticism and naysaying and cliche and status quo kind of assumptions, and you really validate that this person and you are aligned on a deeper, greater level, when you do that, you're going to rise above the concerns about what other people will think of this connection, and you're going to step into full ownership of the love that you have, regardless of the unique circumstances that the two of you pose as far as atypical relationships. So be that race, religion, creed, age, whatever it may be, it doesn't matter anymore, because you're starting to see the magic that happens as a result of being connected with each other, and how much you resonate as pure beings on the same soul level. This is going to take you up and out of feeling pressure, or that you'll be ridiculed by those in the world, or that it's somehow wrong for you to be together with your feminine. What can we see for the feminines? Okay, third party energy. So right now, feminines, there might be some heartache still being processed as you begin to really release your inhibitions, your fear of not being enough, your past choices, your karmic situations. You're going to be feeling some of the, I just heard cringe, the heartache that was associated with times when you played small, times when you felt like the shoes were too big, times when you made choices that were based in fear, or when you played it safe. So some of that heartache is going to be coming up for clearing as you embrace your nobility, as you see your true value, as you overcome those limited perceptions of the world. Some of the circumstances, the karmic circumstances, are going to be playing out in your reality or your psyche or your emotions. So there will be different ways this emerges for each feminine, but it is you coming through your rite of passage. As you free your mind from playing small, as being held back, you're going to start claiming your freedom. You're going to start seeing your way forward, and you're going to have to feel it to heal it. So there is a layer of inconvenience or pain or discomfort that's going to be coming up as your limitations move out, as you come into your nobility further, feminines. So there are going to be changes. What is that martial arts saying? Pain is just fear leaving the body. So there's going to be pain leaving your emotions, leaving your mind, possibly leaving your body. I hope not, but I do feel it's going to be at least emotional. But circumstances that are uncomfortable are going to come up, feminines, as you continue to finalize the rite of passage on all levels, whatever level that is for you. What can we see for the manifestations that the feminines are working on? Okay, doing the inner work. This is you having the prerequisite of practicing what you preach, really stepping up, stepping in, leaning in to what's righteous, to what's proper for you, taking your giftings, your talents to the next level, seeing how everything you've experienced, good, bad, and ugly, lends itself to you being a specialist in you. And the Five of Pentacles, this is feeling like you're an odd one out. This is the rite of passage that you now can wave your freak flag, or celebrate your uniqueness, or not feel like you're an outcast when you're lost in open wonder and that lone wolf kind of wilderness. This is a card of isolation and separation, but this is you doing the work to embrace that, you don't actually need others, even though you are a gift, even though others are a gift to you. This is a card saying that when you do the inner work, all of that icy outcast energy melts away and you come back into unity consciousness. This is saying this is the route to heal that wound, that separation wound, that feeling that you're apart from the divine, apart from love, apart from blessing. This is you doing the inner work to see how there are seasons, there are times for everything, there are lessons, there is, a contrast. We live in a world of duality. So this is you connecting those dualistic pairs and seeing now the holistic view of certain experiences or spectrums, and knowing that when we are in separation or in isolated energy, it's an illusion because it's simply just one end of a spectrum that we're experiencing, and that this too shall pass, because there's always the equal and opposite view of that same energy. And so this is you becoming a specialist in this and that, in that and this, in this and that, in that and this, and realizing that sometimes the pendulum swings to aloneness, and sometimes it swings to togetherness, sometimes it swings to isolation, and sometimes it swings to, being crowded with too much. So there is a time for everything, a season for everything. And that's what you are meant to manifest right now, is seeing how you can bridge that, seeing how you can celebrate it. What is the advice for the masculines? The Knight of Pentacles. So this is continuing to lay your own foundation and your own path forward, one step at a time, one brick at a time, masculines. And to see, I'm being told that if you look at your feminine, you will see that you've both been doing this. What can we see for the advice for the feminines? Yeah, equal give and take. Here's more pentacles. So we just had 8 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. So this is really in the physical. So both counterparts are manifesting things in the physical: progress, abundance, collaborations, opportunities, blessings, finances. That any hardship or the illusion of hardship is just training. It is just blessing in disguise. It is just calibration. It can be humbling if we let it, but it also provides the contrast to appreciate the abundance and to be accountable for the things that will be coming in. Nothing is owed to anybody. We need to be grateful for absolutely everything that we are given, because, in a moment it can be gone. The right attitude will, though, create more abundance. When you're accountable for a little, you will be given more. And so really not taking things for granted, really being diligent, really understanding the big picture, really embracing it all is what we're meant to be manifesting. What can we see for the action? Overcoming the world. The 7 of Swords is talking about this secret ops mission to really see holistically and love ferociously and unconditionally, no matter what, and really be in the world but not of it. We're here to experience the contrast of being separate from the divine and to be born back into the remembrance of that, to remember our star-seeded lineage, history of cosmic self, God's self, and to come back into the remembrance of it up through the density. And so, make that journey, make that realization of wholeness, of love, your secret mission through all of this. That's what this journey is about. It's one of the paths back to that. And it's not necessarily about the romantic outcome, although that does happen when we come back into love. It is reflected by having a conscious lover show up in our reality. What can we see for the advice for the masculines? Temperance. This looks like such a bride and groom to me, but it is the healing masculine. So continue to heal, because that does continue to bring you and your choices closer to your true counterpart. That's what merges. When we choose ourselves, when we choose our healing, it makes every choice apparent. And when we choose from that place of balance and healing, the choices that are best for us naturally align us with those who are meant to be in our life on that level. And this is saying that as you continue to choose your healthy, whole, balanced options, that your feminine emerges in your reality with you. You both overcome the world. And for the feminines, now we're getting the sun to match the masculine's moon. So here the feminines are seeing you masculines as their shining sun. You are illuminating even more brightly, foundationally to them, unquestionably. You are becoming this set apart, different than anyone else, obvious bright light in their life. because of your healing, masculines, because you've been allowing this journey to bring you into your radiance. I'm just taken by this young boy on this. It's like the masculines knew all along. The message I'm getting from that is that their inner child saw you, divine feminines. So masculines, your feminine knows that that sweetness inside of you, that innocence, the purity in you, recognize them, and they saw that in you from the get-go. What can we see for the biggest challenge that the feminines have at this time? Queen of Pentacles in the inverse. That's the wifey card. That is the life partner card, the home card, and the lovers. So the challenge is staying the course, knowing this is playing out with higher love, even when things are not fully go time. Whether that's life partnership, living together, whatever it may be, isn't quite settled yet. This higher love, focusing on the higher love, even in the becoming, is the challenge. What do the masculines need to know about that? Oh, this is union. So the 1111 union energy is here. So just keep your eye on the eventual merge here, masculines, because your feminine, it wants this so much too. And yet isn't willing to risk something prematurely by overly reaching for it or longing for it. Instead, letting it unfold naturally, aligning with higher love, taking moment by moment and choosing moment by moment love. And so both just stay the course in the name of spiritual foundation, energetic awareness, savvy, feeling into what is good and right and true every step of the way. What are the feminines here? Okay, we had the Five of Swords, which is my card of free will a little while ago for the feminines. In this depiction, there's been a transformation. So this is saying, feminines, keep choosing the higher vantage point, the way of looking at things where love wins, the higher storylines. Spin everything you're seeing in the name of love. If you can't do that and it's not plausible to you, ask for higher guidance to open your sight so you can see that potentiality, because everything is unlimited. It is a choose your own adventure story. If you cannot see a path of love in what you're witnessing, you're not being creative enough, and you need to do this. You can't outlove God, you can't out-God God, but you can go to God for that vision if you don't personally have that ability. Ask higher. This is saying you will. This is saying you can keep believing. This is saying that you're about to expand beyond your comfort zone in what you think you're worth and what you think is possible. And keep the faith. This is staying the course. This is being obedient to your knowing that love is coming for you, that you're manifesting true love in this lifetime. And this is you admitting that to yourself and overcoming the temptation to backslide into worrying that you won't have love, that you won't have union, that you won't end up with this counterpart or a true counterpart. What is the solution to this challenge? The Three of Swords in the inverse. So this is the heartache and this is the remorse and regret in the inverse. So the solution is making, what was that? Saltwater Heals Tarot. I think she said something like, when life gives you lemons, make chocolate. And then they'll ask you how you did that. It's something like that. I might have botched it, but this is the vibe I'm getting here is don't forget there's option Q. You don't have to just be in linear thought, feminines. You don't have to just keep modeling and patterning after trauma or after letdowns or perceived failures. You can completely spin it around and say, wait a second, I don't want to be broken record, monkey see, monkey do. Clear my thoughts, go to the divine, and radically shift course. Mission, delete, abort, and go over here and be all magical and stuff. Like, do that, feminines. This is the chance for you to say, wait a second, what was I thinking? This doesn't feel good. I don't want to subscribe to just being in a dead-end scenario. I definitely want to transcend my limited thinking. And I saw with that Eight of Swords feminines that it's going to happen in ways you never thought could expand further. You're going to see where you have been falling short of the freedom that you could be employing with your ideas and your thoughts. What is the advice for the masculines here? Emperor, drop control issues and just vibe, just resonate with what you're seeing in the energy, what you feel compelled, inspired by. This is your permission to drop any kind of awkward energy or weirdness and just literally relax and be yourselves. Go on intuitive guidance, come forward a little or a lot or in whatever way you want. Just be yourself, follow your heart, take action, feel the safety. You cannot say and do the wrong thing to the right person. So masculines, drop that guard and just, love, be love. It's time to soften and everybody, just coming closer. I really feel that this is happening. And feminines, I'm being told, pay attention to that, because you will know that there have been cases where your masculine has started to show up differently. You know it. If you're quiet and you really feel into the changes that have happened over the last few months, you will see a stark difference in things that you never used to think your masculine would be doing and saying. There is evidence that they are indeed doing things differently and saying different things, even just energetically, but I'm talking about mostly in the physical here. And this is the truth. So we got the Ace of Swords here. If you take a step back and look at the big picture, there are remarkable differences than, even a few weeks ago, a few months ago, and last year or longer. You can see it that way. This will also encourage you to continue daring to believe that better than you could imagine is still coming, and the delight is coming, because you're starting to see, even in hindsight, whether you believed it or not or saw it for what it is, there is now evidence that you can draw from that's not the pain story, that's not the trauma, that's not past relationships repeating. What can we see for the direction in the near future? Equal give and take. Ooh. And the devil, but I'm literally getting it's called lobster mushroom, and I'm getting fancy dinners and sharing and lobster dinners, romantic dinners here, and sensual energy. So date night, I am seeing for some there will be some really passionate energy here coming in. Really, I'm actually going to clarify this with the After Tarot. What is this going to be for the feminines? Queen of Wands. There's something that's going to remind you how attractive you are. It's like your masculine, it's like you're not even noticing that your masculine is still thinking of you as this choice. It's like it's going to creep up on you that your masculine is going to pay you some kind of a compliment about your attractiveness. Something is going to impress upon you that they really do have genuine attraction for you in a way that's going to surprise you, is what I'm hearing. You don't see it coming. And isn't it about darn time that your masculine says that to you? What can we see, or does something that impresses you that way? What can we see for the masculines? Ooh, we get this abandonment wound. And it came out in the neutral, which means you're starting to catch yourself in the act of feeling abandoned or triggered, masculines, and you're not holding yourself back anymore. You're not taking that pain story or those triggers so seriously. The guides are saying we got to cut the masculines some slack, because many masculines do not go to tarot readings and self-help groups and that kind of thing to move through their triggers and insecurities. They man up, they hunker down, bunker down, whatever, and wallow or stew or internalize. And you masculines, the way you do it is really noble, but this is saying you're getting a handle on that so that you're not going to be self-sabotaging. So you're actually going to be able to ask your feminine out, to spend time with them. So, this is into August, the next 3 weeks or whatever. There might be some inspiration that you're not going to kibosh anymore. You're going to actually propose a date or a meetup or an actual conversation. Especially with this sensual energy I'm picking up on here, you might actually tell your feminine that they are the most attractive person you've ever met. You might finally express how deep your affection goes. You might tell your feminine, getting breathless and choking up a little, that you love them. There might be something like that they are totally set apart in the crowd for you, that you haven't been at a place where you have been unafraid to say that, but that no matter what, you're feeling that way. So yeah, feminines, there's something here where your masculine is done kind of holding back and wants to acknowledge the gift from God that you are in their life in some way. So it might not even just be a physical attraction. It might actually be this soul level attraction. They might thank you for how spiritually inspirational you've been. What can we see for the advice for masculines? Page of Wands, go to the divine for this. Go deep inside of yourself to ask for higher guidance. So this is uncharted territory. I do feel like the masculines are seeking divine counsel in how to express this intense, to the cellular level feeling of match made in heaven. There's something incredibly real emerging in the psyches of the masculines, and they have to go to the divine in order to word it, to articulate it, to express it, to acknowledge it. It's like a coming to God moment here for the masculines about how well matched you are, feminines. What is the advice for the feminines? Stay in all your glory. This is the Empress, the lady in waiting before the Emperor comes in to the garden. So this is like meeting in the garden kind of energy. You're doing really well, feminines. Stay in that high frequency. Stay in your wholeness. It's not going to be forever that you'll be single. But this is the truly single, without the games, without the backup plans, without the other options. This is you holding your own in all your glory and knowing your worth. Beautiful. Mwah. Bye for now, everyone.